Wingsuit flying is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. An astonishing 1 in 500 jumps end in a fatality, with 400 people dying since 1981 during a wingsuit flight. Although not known for its safety, it's also one of the most adrenaline-inducing sports, attracting thrill seekers in particular. Those willing to take the risk for a rush of flying inches from the ground have impressed millions around the world. Let's go on a flight together to see some of the most astounding wingsuit stunts achieved by professionals. Our number 3 flight was taken on by the daring Graham Dickinson, a Canadian base jumper and actually one of the pioneers of the sport. At the age of 16, Graham would watch his older brother skydive with envy as his parents would not allow him to join his brother. It would become an obsession, watching skydiving videos constantly, and as soon as he turned 18, he would make jumping from planes a routine. At the age of 23 in 2011, Graham and his friend climbed up to 150-meter antenna and leaped into the air for his first base jump. Any initial fear he had was washed away after this life-changing experience, which he said literally consumed his life from that point on. The thrill never seemed enough for Graham. After jumping hundreds of times over the next few years, he would start to practice proximity flying, which is when people fly within meters of the ground. Around the summer of 2015, Graham found a spot on the mountainside of Chamonix in France and knew it was his next jump. In this insane video, filmed in part by wingsuit pilot Dario Zanon, you can see how close Graham gets to the rocks and trees before pulling the chute and landing to safety. Tragically, Graham Dickinson's chase for greater thrills would end while attempting a jump known as Heaven's Gate in China. He wasn't able to keep a high enough altitude and flew into the ground at extremely high speeds. He is still known as one of the most daring wingsuit flyers in history. The next stunt on this list was undertaken by Gary Connery, a well-known base jumper and skydiver. Over the years, Gary Connery was known for undertaking and successfully completing many different creative base jumps, one being jumping off Nelson's Column in 2003 at Trafalgar Square in London after climbing it without safety equipment, being arrested shortly afterwards. But none of his previous stunts would compare to his next planned jump, which was to land safely on the ground in a wingsuit without a parachute. After preparing for weeks, on May 23, 2012, Gary leapt from a helicopter at a height of 2,400 feet or 730 meters in Buckinghamshire, England, with his wingsuit equipped. His speed reached an insane 80 miles per hour or 130 kilometers per hour before falling to the 50 mile per hour range towards the end, while controlling his direction of gliding. So how, at these speeds might you ask, would he manage to land without pulling his parachute? The answer was 18,600 cardboard boxes made into a strip 350 feet long. After briefly looking like he was about to lose control upon landing, he flew straight into the boxes with about 100 spectators watching and made it out completely unscathed. This was the first safe landing of a wingsuit without a parachute ever done in history, beating Jeb Corliss to the achievement, who had the same goal since 2010. Number 1 goes to an insane stunt by Uli Manuel. Uli started his base jumping career back in 2011 and developed the mentality to find places never jumped before and to search for new terrain flight lines. After about a year of searching, he came across a rock formation in the Swiss Alps that is about 2 meters across at its widest point. From there, he knew what his next wingsuit stunt would be to work towards. Uli trained for 3 whole years to get the perfect angle to fly straight through the rock formation known as the Needle's Eye. After hiking for a whole 45 hours to get the right angle to approach the Needle's Eye, he set flight and passed right through the rock formation in an insanely close flyby. It is considered one of the most extreme stunts done by any base jumper, just knowing how perfect the approach had to be to pull it off. But again, tragically, 13 months after this flight took place, Uli would fatally crash while streaming a wingsuit flying video at Lauterbrunnen in Switzerland. Uli Manuel died doing what he loved, but all it takes is one wrong move when it comes to this sport. His legacy lives on through his incredible Needle's Eye feat, which we will always be able to replay in awe. That'll be it for today's dose of adrenaline. If this video got your palms sweating or heart racing, hit that thumbs up to let me know and I'll keep delivering. See you on the next one.